my Uncle Dave's wife at the time was like, honey, wake up. Like, and he's just like, what the fuck you mean, wake up? And she was like, wake up. And he looks up, and there is somebody at the bottom of their
No.
bed.
See,
At the bottom of their bed, bro,
fuck
crying.
welcome back to Impractical Nonsense. I got a special guest with me today, the second half of What the Fuck's Your Podcast?
Two Sticks and Pure Age, and the
There
third
we
of We
go.
Are Wrestling.
An up-and-coming YouTube reactor, and for some reason, my only friend who has the curse where if he's in my car, I get pulled over. How's it going, Ben?
I fucking remember that now. What's
Every
going
time.
on, guys? Happy to be here, man.
It's good to have
Very,
you.
very happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you.
So let's just get into that now. Why do I get pulled over when you're in my car?
I don't know. And there's so many, there's a couple like really, really good stories to talk about when it comes to me being in your car every time you're fucking pulled over. And I don't know what it is because you're the only person I've ever been in with a car where they've gotten pulled over multiple times. And I think you might be the only friend I've actually been in a car with where they've been pulled over, if I'm being dead ass.
I don't know if that's... Should I be proud? I think I should be proud.
I don't know. Because like we weren't even, nothing was even happening. We didn't even do anything wrong.
I mean, the story I want to talk about is when we were doing something wrong. Allegedly. Have to say allegedly. So we were,
Okay.
It was Dylan Ralston and I want to say Scotty. You're going to remember it right away.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
And we were in the Stratus.
Dude, I remember.
In Palmer, and they went to Cumbies and we thought it would be funny, so we kept driving around. And I just kept driving around. You didn't have a license or permit, allegedly. And I just kept driving around.
didn't.
And then we're like, this is fucking hilarious. Let's pull over. So we pull over in front of a store. And it's closed. It looks like it's like not even in business anymore. And then a cop drives by. And then you get in the driver's
Shines
seat.
the fucking light.
Oh, we
No,
skipped
I was
that part.
in the driver's seat already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
I went around like three
so
times.
We were in the driver's seat.
And then I was like, it'll be fucking hilarious because they kept seeing us drive by. We're fucking with them. Like, we're not going to pick you up. So I'm like, okay, I don't see any cops or anything. You get in the driver's seat and you drive around once. It'd be fucking hilarious. He does
That's
the one
ballsy.
time. Yeah.
That's
Oh.
ballsy considering one, I had no fucking license, no permit. I barely had any history of fucking driving at that point. I'd never driven on a main road. Like I barely knew like the fucking gauge of how hard I should press the fucking gas pedal. But it would be funny to drive by these guys with the guy that doesn't have a license driving the car.
And the one time you drive it, the cop drives by and you kind of like freak and pull over in front of this building.
Froze.
He sat
Yeah.
there. Now he has a beanie on. I have a hat on. So you can like, and obviously we don't look alike. They
No.
pull, we're parked like this. And then there's a driveway to another store across from us. And they're sitting there facing us.
With
And
the
then-
lights shining in the car.
Yeah. So we're just like, oh, this don't look, I mean, we're not doing anything. You're just parked here. They
And
take,
I don't have a license, so
Yeah.
I'm freaking the fuck out.
so we take a right. They take a right. And then as soon as they get far enough, I'm like, fuck, switch seats. As soon as we switch, we pick up
I
Dylan.
ripped my
and-
beanie off, too.
Yeah. We pick up Dylan and Scotty, and as soon as we do that, we're headed back and we get pulled over. And then
Oh
when we
my
get pulled
God.
over, they pull. It's like I'm out of the car. Ben's in the car. We had no time to plan like a story because they're clearly going to ask us because there was backup too. So
Oh,
the
yeah.
backup was talking in my car, and I'm at their car talking to another cop. And
Yeah, so we can actually trade stories as to what was said to both of us.
we can, yeah.
So if
I'll
you
let
wanna
you
go
tell
for
it.
Okay, so yeah, so we did that switcheroo. We drove down the street. We got pulled over. Backup was there and another cop because apparently the garage place that we had parked in front of was being robbed notoriously at that time, and we had no fucking clue. We just parked there to not look suspicious, but apparently we just made it even more fucking
It's
suspicious.
just made it worse.
So when we picked them up, we got pulled over. The younger cop brings Dan out, like, all right, like, let's talk to you behind the car, whatever. His buddy comes comes over to the fucking passenger side, which of course I'm in the fucking window and I'm nervous as shit. I've never talked to a cop in this life before, and I've never had to speak on behalf of anybody, including myself, to a cop at this point.
I'd never been pulled out of a
Um,
car like that. Like, you're talking to me separate. Like, oh God.
Yeah,
I thought I was
dude,
getting
and
cuffed.
And what the scariest fucking part about all of it though was the first question they usually always ask you is, so has there been any drinking tonight? And, you know, obviously I'm stumbling over my words because I can't fucking regulate my heartbeat with a fucking cop staring dead in my eyes, waiting for me to tell a false lie. I'm just like, I'm like, no, I'm just fucking, and I straight up told him, like, I'm just fucking nervous, man.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been talked to by a cop before. But luckily, when he asked what we were doing, we both had this mutual friend, Lindsay, at the time, and we had both simultaneously said that we had just saw her out in Munson, and we were coming back through the area.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like anybody like the whole if the God thing is your thing. He was definitely watching out for you boys that night.
Oh, he hooked
'Cause it
us up
was
that
nuts.
night. All they said was, "Get out of Palmer." Like pretty much, this is our turf. You don't belong here. Go home. And didn't
Do you know what that bothers the fuck out of me?
Yeah,
Every
it's
time
kinda
a
like-
cop, it becomes their town. The
Yeah.
moment you do something that pisses that specific cop off, it becomes their town. I'm like, okay, bro.
if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, because you got me pulled over so many times. On the way back from Palmer, didn't I get pulled over again because I had a headlight out? Or was that a separate time?
No, that was a separate time.
See,
That was a separate
freaking-
time.
I want to say
But
I've been pulled over like 4 times with you.
there was a cop. There was, I think, 2 cop cars that we had passed going that had their lights down, but they looked like they were like waiting for us because we were told that we were going that area, so they were making sure we fucking went out that area and didn't
We
do
had a
anything
freaking
stupid.
escort
So
out
it's
of
just like-
Palmer.
Speaking of Dylan Ralston, though, there is a story, and it was actually one of like the funnest fucking times of my life. Like this night specifically, because it started off already kind of sus, and then it just ended
I
fucking
think I know
awesome.
where you're going already. Are you
Oh,
going with
fucking
that
Energy
party?
by Shinedown is the best fucking.
Wait,
Yes.
was that the night we were at that random condo and the mom like kicked everybody out?
Yes, that's
my
the
God.
party where fucking Dylan and that kid were boxing downstairs, and then the
All
kid
right.
threw the fire truck and had it shatter across the wall for no
That's
reason.
right. The mom came in like, "What the hell's going on?" Like everybody got in their cars and took off. That was the one that I didn't get pulled over.
Dude, yeah, because you fucking, I think you dropped me off and then just kept driving. Because
That's what I have to do now. It came to a point where instead of me picking up Ben in my car, I would ride my bike to his house, and like that's it. We're staying here.
Dude, you walked to my house from Ludlow one November.
Yeah, I won't do
Like
that.
you
again.
walked 2 hours to my house just because you didn't feel like being at your fucking house. So you
I was,
came and crashed
I was
at
bored
mine.
as shit. I'm like, let me just walk forever. Why not?
Oh my God, man. Damn, dude. These are memories that I fucking
That's a while ago,
completely
yeah.
forgot about, man. Like, that party was kind of nuts because I was still very much a virgin in the whole partying
Yeah,
area.
like we didn't even. I don't even
It
think either of
wasn't-
us drank. We maybe had a shot.
No. We didn't even fucking, dude, we didn't drink. We didn't even fucking smoke. I think I bummed a lot of fucking cigs off of Larry Whitlock that night. And how I
Fucking
remember,
Larry.
yeah, how I remember is because I not only met Larry Whitlock after knowing about him for so long, because his mutual friend was Haley.
Yeah.
And I met Larry that night, and I noticed that he was smoking Reds, and I had just ran out of my pack of cigs. And you know, being a kid, I didn't have a fucking job at fucking 16 years old yet. So I was just like, "Damn, man, do you mind if I bum a cig?" And then he was like, "Yeah, my man." Like my man was like his thing that night, which is like
Yeah.
he was calling everybody my man because he was lit as fuck. And I remember just bumming mad cigs off him, and this is like forever ago because you can even tell, like I don't even smoke cigs anymore, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was just chain smoking that fucking night, just like people watching, just because I remember being so fucking nervous. And then the moment that they started boxing downstairs, I was even more
That's
fucking
like,
nervous because I'm like, dude, what if
shit.
the cops are fucking called, bro?
Yeah, and I don't want to play. And I'm pretty sure the mom did call the cops. And that's why everyone, like, all the cars, there was like at least 5 of us drove there. They just scattered. You know what's
Scattered.
funny?
Like you, Dylan Ralston, Erica Darren, and her friend jumped in your car
Yeah.
with me, and then you guys dropped me off because it was the 3 of us and then Dylan in the front seat.
You were in my car, so it was terrifying enough
Yeah,
alone.
your Dodge Stratus.
But we didn't get pulled over, so I mean, that's a win. The freaking Dodge Stratus. That thing was a champ. We got a lot of rides in that,
That thing was a tank, man. Like that thing went through some shit,
Dude,
and it was still drivable.
Were you in the car when I raced the allegedly when I raced the freaking Camaro up by Danny?
I was not in the car.
Okay,
I was not in the car. No.
That's why I didn't get pulled. I won, but I don't know if he let me or it was just that old of a car that it broke. But it was funny
I
that
don't know.
you brought up the whole God thing because I figured today we can go on like not religious shit, but like stuff like believing, not
Supernatural.
believing. Did you see? I didn't look into it much, but it was. I keep seeing it. I talked about the Chinese balloon last week with Danny. Apparently, this week the government shot down 3 UFOs, but they call them like IAPs or something now. I didn't look
I
into it
heard
too
nothing.
much, but I don't know. It was they shot 3 down, but they're saying it was like it wasn't aliens. Even Elon Musk said like, which is kind of cool, and I agree. If there isn't aliens, it's kind of a sad thing. We're like a candle in a vast sea of darkness if it's just us.
Yeah.
Do you believe in aliens? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, you want my actual personal opinion?
Oh yeah,
Hell
we're going
fucking
into
yeah.
all these ghosts and
You're
aliens
telling me.
and
So you
if the
mean to
McRib's
tell
good.
me in billions and billions of light years, full of fucking stars, distant planets, galaxies, in one whole ass universe, you're telling me that we're the only ones with sustainable life? Yeah, you're fucking bugging. You're bugging, dude.
I've
Hell
seen Rick
no.
and Morty. He's gone to plenty of planets and there's aliens there. But it's hard because you don't see anything. But at the same time, that's
I
the
mean,
point. Like
Area
there's
51's
so
a place,
much.
and none of us are fucking invited. So
Watch that be just nothing. I mean, it could be like secret government stuff, but at the same time, it's always fun to have like a
what would
side
they
story.
be hiding? But what would they be hiding that like the public are genuinely not fucking allowed to see? Like, what is there that like would cause a chaos storm of holy shit that would echo through the entire world? Though,
But
like that's something I've always wondered. Is like it may not be aliens, but what is it that's there that like you're literally
what's
killing
hiding,
people
yeah.
to keep out of?
I'm still
Like
very disappointed. We could have found out if the goddamn Kyles ran in like they said they would.
the goddamn Kyles.
They had a
the
freaking cookout.
Yeah, there was like a whole. They had like a whole ass like Facebook page. Like, yeah, we're gonna storm Area 51. They can't kill all of us. I'm like, bro,
They can.
if you're gonna fuck around and find out, and if they can, you're gonna find out, and you ain't gonna live to tell the tale. We're just gonna see it.
Yep. All they did was tailgate at the edge because I don't know. If they just had run in, maybe a couple of them would at least got a glimpse.
Now I've heard that you can get like up to like I think like 2 miles outside of it, and you can kind of see it, but you can't get there. Like there's no way in hell. There's snipers. There's like fucking. There's aircrafts that like patrol it and shit. There's trucks that stop you like at a certain point.
Yeah, and
like
there's like cameras out in the desert just randomly. And then I guess
and it's nuts.
from what I've seen and like stuff like because I've seen videos of people like go to as close as they can go. From what I'm thinking is one, there's bunkers. You're not going to see shit anyways. And then I think a lot's underground. So you can't, even if you got close enough, because if it wasn't, you'd think just fly over. But I have a feeling. I've played GTA. You get shot when you go over things like that.
All right, so let's make a fantasy out of this. What do you think the moment you walk into Area 51, the building, like what do you think that the first thing you're going to see is? Because I have an idea. Like I have a feeling that it's going to look very plain on the inside. Like it looks
you're not
going
to walk in
like
and bam, here's the show right here.
No, it's downstairs. It is definitely everything big is fucking underground in miles long radiuses. Like there's a shit ton that we do not know about that the fucking US has definitely discovered. There's a lot of shit.
Unless they're really throwing us off guard with the whole aliens thing, and it's like Tupac's down there, the cure for cancer's down there, all that stuff that you thought was gone is down there. But no, yeah,
okay, so
I
I'm gonna
agree.
say with cancer that I could definitely see because you're telling me from a disease that has been rapid for our lifetimes, there's not one fucking cure out there for it. Like you're telling me that it's completely incurable. Like there's probably a cure for AIDS, cancer, fucking.
But I think
like there's probably a shit ton down there, bro.
Well, they obviously can't release that because how much money do they make on freaking radiation and all that shit? They'd lose all that money.
Chemotherapy, life insurance policies, like taxes, like it's nuts, man. Like people, there's no way in hell that anybody is that pure of heart to just let that go.
Yeah.
Like there's no fucking way. No
did
fucking
you
way.
Did you see Bruce Willis? I think it came out today. He's actually been diagnosed with dementia.
Yeah, I did see that actually. Ironically, today I saw that. Yeah, that's really fucking sad, man. Because like that was a powerhouse action fucking actor of like the fucking 90s going to the early 2000s. And he recently like had his last sequel that he did technically with Glass with the Split and Unbreakable sequel.
I still haven't seen that.
That was like his last. Yeah, I haven't seen the final movie. I've seen the first two, but the last movie I know has Glass, Samuel L. Jackson. He's like it's like a super group of like superheroes or some shit, like darker superheroes. But yeah, that was like his last big sequel thing, and now he can't remember lines anymore. I don't see him making any kind of cameo in anything. To be honest,
from what I was reading, I don't even think he can really talk anymore.
That's fucked. Man.
Yeah,
like,
and he wasn't. If he was fine right now, he would not be close to done. He'd still be making Christmas movies.
Oh, absolutely. And like Bruce Willis is like I heard was like one of like the hardest fucking actors to work with just because like he was really strict about everything.
He wants it done perfect.
Like I can't imagine being like a legendary ass actor and having so much work out in the world and not even remembering that I did it. Like that's got to be fucked,
Yeah.
man.
Not even that, like, even with your kids, imagine you hang out with like your daughter and then the next day you're like, who the hell is this? Or you
This is
forget
gonna
like
sound like
small details.
yeah, like this is gonna sound like a fucked up question, but it must like I'm curious if it's a good feeling. Like with dementia and how much you can forget, like I wonder if he eventually will get to a point where he wakes up every day and checks his bank account and is like, holy fuck, I'm rich every day and just gets fucking happy as shit about it. Like
This might
that
be
must be a
fucked
good
up.
feeling.
You know what else is probably cool? Imagine, okay, well, for example, because your podcast right now is doing The Last of Us. Imagine
Yeah.
you watch the whole season and then you forget. Now you get to rewatch the whole season.
That's like
Or
the
like a
only
video
thankful
game.
thing.
But you could
That's like
also
the
forget
only
it
thankful thing.
exists, I guess, or how you forget your info.
You get an instant fucking memory wipe, like, hi, I'm Tom, and then he gets played again. And you're just like, oh fuck, that was awesome.
That's so
Hi,
good.
I'm Tom. Oh shit, what's
It'd
this?
be confusing if you did like how you guys do the after show. You do like 7
Mm.
years worth and like, dude, this came out 7 years ago. But
It's like, there's no way in hell. It's got to be glitching the fuck out. It
yeah.
says 2023. It's 2033. What the fuck do you mean?
With shows like that, I thought of a cool one. I can't believe no one's made it yet. Remember the movie 13 Ghosts?
Of course.
Why haven't they made a show where each episode is like a backstory of each ghost, all 13 of them?
Like an anthology series?
Kind of,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, I've been preaching that for fucking years, man. Like if the creator of 13 Ghosts and like really decides he wants to do that, I am fucking for it, dude, because that was one of my favorite movies because to me, that was one of the last legitimately scary movies. Like it's genuinely terrifying. Like I still get jumped up even looking at it now, dude. Like it's nuts.
The part that gets me still is when the freaking I think it's the guy who plays Shaggy. I forget his name all the time.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard.
He's the one who gets the door that closes and splits him in half, right?
No, that's the lawyer that went there for all the money and shit and was going to leave the family with all the ghosts.
The guy who plays Monk.
That's the main character.
Oh yeah, he does.
He was like the side character, the lawyer that brought him to the house. And was like, by the way, this is your fortune and everything.
Yeah.
And
that was the most disturbing part for me. Was when he splits and then the front half just slides down.
See, what got me more uncomfortable, and I'm actually going to give you what ghost scared me the most, minus the jackal, which was the one that had the fucking box on his head. Yeah, the scariest one for me was the Desperate Child and the Dire Mother, which was like that big, oversized baby with puke on his mouth and he had the fucking axe. Like that was the one that scared the shit out of me, dude. Just because I'm like, dude, no. Like, no, that is like a cannibalistic child killer.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm done.
Like, I feel like older... There's no movies now that are like different. They're remakes, or you get like the Last of Us show or something that comes out and you're like, oh, this is really good. But then you get like remakes. Like Ghost Ship was another good movie that came out a while ago. That was a horror movie.
Fucking dude, that
stuff
movie
like that.
That movie fucks. Yeah, dude, that movie absolutely fucks.
That shit started with the whole boat getting split in half, the head falling off and shit. So when I asked you to be a guest, I was trying to think of stuff that. When I have a guest, I try to think of things that go with the guest, like stories that I know will bring stuff up, or other kinds of things that I know you're interested in movies and stuff. I know that this has nothing to do with movies. Like I said last episode, you'll know the whole I'm all over the place. You lived in Florida for what was it, a couple of years?
I lived in Florida for about 7 months.
Did you see Monkey Island?
Did I see Monkey Island? What is that?
It is like not a movie. It's legit monkey. It's an island. In the
full of monkeys?
Like, yeah, hold on. I have the name of where it's from. Monkey Island is in Homosassa River, which used to be like.
I don't know what the hell a Homosassa River is. I don't know where it's located.
Somewhere in Florida.
I have no idea.
But it was
I lived in Orlando.
Oh.
Central Florida, like right in the middle.
Well, it was in the middle of a river. It used to be just like rocks right under the surface, so boats would hit it all the time, and this doctor guy was like, or he was, I don't think he was, there was a guy and then a doctor. He was like he built attractions and stuff. He told his worker to dump some sand on it just so it's more noticeable. This guy dumped too much sand, so it turned into an island. And then he built a lighthouse just to make it look nice, put some grass. Later on down the road, a doctor who worked with like monkeys to try and make a better polio vaccine brought them to America, to Florida. and they were biting gas, stealing their purses, just fucking shit up. So this guy's like, I need like a monkey Alcatraz, like a private one, and he saw the island that this guy made. Yeah, that's what it's called, monkey Alcatraz. It's literally in the middle of the river.
That is fucking awesome.
So he brought like, I think there's like 5 monkeys there right now, and he threw them on the island, and they don't swim. I got here. I have pictures set up on your Facebook. I'm gonna send them to you right now. That's Monkey Island. I'll pop them up on the screen so you guys can see. There's just, you can see a monkey in the second picture. He's just chilling up on the rock. But it's literally just, you can't go on it. You can go buy it on a boat and shit, but there's just monkeys chilling on an island in the middle of a river in Florida.
Bro, what the fuck?
I kind of want to go.
That's awesome. Dude, that's fucking awesome. What the fuck?
But
Monkey Island.
Yep. There's I think 3 spider monkeys and 2, I forgot what the other 2 were. Maybe lemurs. Probably not. But they don't swim, so like they're stuck on the island. But they have like, every day they go there, they change the grass up. Like, this grass is long, this is short. They move their food to a different part of the island. I guess they were killing all the palm trees, so now they have pine trees. But they change up the environment so the monkeys don't get bored. And then the monkeys don't fuck with the people on the actual land.
That is probably the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. Just an accidental monkey
Random
island.
Ass monkey island. Monkeys that were supposed to help polio. So you can't
go. So is it like,
you can't go on.
So is it like North Sentinel Island where it's just like forbidden that you even fucking approach there, or you feel like it's illegal?
I think you can go buy it on boats, but like the monkeys will fuck you up if you go on the island. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, so you can go if you really want
from some monkeys.
Let's go hang out with some monkeys.
Get some hands from the monkeys.
Get some hands. There's 5 of them. They might jump you. But that was
if I bring the boys.
I thought you'd find that interesting.
It's very fucking interesting. Monkey Island, and it was like a random ass thing that just kind of like happened because this dude didn't feel like dealing with monkeys anymore.
No, not even. Well, yeah, but he worked with the monkeys to find like a cure for polio, and the problem was they were fucking with everybody in Florida, like in that area. So he's like, I need to put them where they won't fuck with everybody. So now,
right Monkey Island, fucking island.
They don't swim, so a man built the island. This guy built the island, and then somehow it worked out.
See, when you said Monkey Island, I thought there was like 30,000 monkeys on a huge ass island or something, kind of like that fucking that Snake Island out in fucking like the Mediterranean or some shit.
That's funny because I have a topic I want to talk about, and that went straight into it. But go ahead.
Yeah, like there's like another fucking island full of fucking snakes, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck that place. You'll never catch me anywhere fucking near it.
Do you watch Ghost Adventures? Have you ever watched?
Dude, I used to binge that shit as a kid.
Did you see
the newer seasons are
Doll Island on that thing?
What island?
It's Doll Island. It's literally a whole ass island with like porcelain dolls.
That one was from that was like 2011 or something like that. They went there, right?
Yeah. But
I did. It was fucking terrifying, dude. I don't do dolls as it is, so fucking old, moldy, scary dolls that are missing eyes. Fuck no.
So when my grandparents passed away, I moved into their house, obviously.
Yeah.
And there was 2 porcelain dolls up in Abel's room. It was like they used it for storage. And I wanted so bad to throw them away, but I was like, there's a slight chance, like I throw them away and then I wake up in the morning and they're in the house again. So I literally have them tucked in a closet upstairs, and then like blankets and pillows in front of them, and that's where they live now. Because I don't want to throw them away and risk the chance of them showing up, and then I'm like, well, shit, they're not leaving.
Staring over your bed.
Then I have to move. I don't do porcelain dolls. That's my thing. Like that's the thing I was saying you led into. I was looking like biggest fears. Like one, what creates a fear? I don't get it, but like, what's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear?
Yeah.
My biggest fear. See, as an adult, I feel like my fears have morphed into
more
like things kind of that cause me depression and stressed.
Yeah.
But as like in terms of like,
if you had to go like out of the
fears,
box, yeah.
Okay, like in terms of irrational fears, I'm gonna say the pitch black dark, 100%.
Yeah.
The pitch black dark and the pitch black ocean are my 2 biggest fears. Because they're completely unpredictable.
I'm even like we went to the Cape. I'm saving the Cape story for Adrian because it's fitting for him. But we went to the Cape and we rented a boat, and like I'm good at being on a boat. I'm fine with it. I know some people who won't even get on a boat. No, but for like the first 20 minutes going out, I'm terrified because if me and my girlfriend got in an argument over this when she came back from New Mexico. My biggest fear is heights. I'm 29. I've never been on a plane. So I was telling her, hey, we'll go to the Cape with the baby and Abel, and we'll rent a boat and we'll just go out for the day. And she's like, I will not get on a boat. She's one of those ones that a boat's too dangerous. I'm like, okay, but you gave me shit because I won't get on a plane. She's like, yeah, planes are safe. I'm like, okay, I can't fly.
Tell that to Kobe. And I mean, it wasn't even a plane, but it was still a fucking flying vehicle.
Yeah.
So say that to Kobe. Tell me how safe it is.
But I told her.
Sorry, Colleen.
We were arguing. She's like, "What was more dangerous?" I'm like, "Sure, it's more. There's more of a chance of a boat crashing than a plane. But if a boat crashes, I know how to swim. If a plane crashes, I'm not a bird. I can't fly. And then if a plane crashes into the ocean, I got two fears now.
You got that right there in the bag, man. Because here's the thing: there's survival rate with fucking boat crashes. There is no survival rate, and if you do, it's a fucking miracle.
And, yeah, but I was like, I could hit two fears at once when that plane crashes into the open ocean. Now my height fear is gone now because I'm not in the air, but I probably had a heart attack on the way down.
So you're a drive across country kind of guy, then fucking fly across country kind of guy.
Her family lives in New Mexico, so that's why she went out there. And she's like, "Oh, when the baby's born, let's all go." I was like, "All right, so I'm gonna leave like 5 days in advance. I'm gonna drive there and meet you there." Like last year, we're in Massachusetts, so that makes it more like when we're talking about where we're going. In Ohio's the Football Hall of Fame, and back I think it was last year, my dad and my brother went. He got it for Christmas for my dad. And I agreed to go too, but I was like, you guys need to get around there, right? Like with a car. I was like, don't rent one. I'll meet you there. I'll drive out. I didn't end up going, but I was willing to drive 19, I think, hours instead of getting on a plane for 3 hours. And like, even that, cars are more dangerous than planes, but like I can get out of a car. If I flip and roll, obviously no, but that plane's not going to get an fender bender.
Dude, it took Breaking Benjamin, I think, until 2015 to play outside of the United States because Ben Burnley doesn't fly either.
The I don't know if you watch Ghost Hunters, but
of course I fucking do with Grant and Jason. Hell fucking yeah. The OGs and Dave Tango. Yeah.
No, Dave Tango's not the OG. The OGs are Grant, Jason, and Steve.
Steve, right?
Steve actually, right? I think Steve lives near my parents. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
He's been at the
back in 2013. He was walking around the fucking mall with his girlfriend that one time, and I was too nervous to go up to and ask him for a picture.
I met all three of them. I wish I could pull the picture up, but it's gone.
I remember
met all three of them. Yeah. But Steve doesn't fly. Steve drives everywhere when they did that. Well, I mean, I don't know how he got to like whenever they went out to I think they did Dracula's Castle. Steve's not in that episode because he's like, fuck it. Guess we have plenty of people replace me. I don't know what causes a fear either. Is there something like it's not genetic? Because my dad's got issues with height, but he'll get on a plane.
I think it's it kind of sprouts from like a mental and physical feeling in their terms of balance.
Because you're not with heights, you're not scared of the heights. You're scared of falling.
You're scared of falling. You're scared of the impact.
At night, you're not scared of no lights. You're scared of what the fuck's in it with me.
What I'll tell you is that you could potentially get over your fear of flights with one thing. One, for flights, for me, it's not a height issue because if I sit in the fucking aisle seat, I ain't seeing out the window. I can't tell what the fuck's going on. The only thing that I think would shake you is the takeoff. That's it.
That's what Colleen said. She said, other than that, takeoff and maybe turbulence will freak me out. But that's my problem. Like on I went on the Superman, but when I go up the big ass hill, and that's a ride at Six Flags, it's got a big hill. I'm face down like this, and they're like, "Look at the view," and I'm like, "Go fuck yourself." But that's
I don't do it.
2 seconds, and then I go, and which doesn't make sense because I'm pretty sure someone died on that ride. Like he flew off.
See, that's where I feel like we're opposite because I love flying, but you'll never see me look over the edge of anything because I will literally fucking fall forward and I'll lose my balance and I'll start fucking puking. So I don't do heights in that.
I've hiked mountains and I'll go near the cliff, but if it's something about going near the edge and stuff, I can look. And once I'm up there, after like 5 minutes, I'm not comfortable, but I'm like, I can tolerate it. But my dad needed me to work on, we were taking the tiles off the garage, and you went to my dad's house. The garage isn't that high. It's maybe the size of a regular ladder. Actually, Adrian was there. I got up to the top of the ladder and I froze. I needed help getting down. I couldn't go back up. I was at the top of the ladder, just stuck there. I'm like, even a ladder I'm terrified of. Something about just being a little bit off the ground terrifies me.
I don't do roller coasters. I don't go to Six Flags because that's all it really realistically is. Like the biggest roller coaster you'll see me on isn't even a fucking roller coaster. It's a ride at the Big E called the fucking Polar Express.
See, that's where the spinning one, right? That's what.
Yeah, where you're in like the little fucking cart. That kind of blows my mind though that you won't go on a Six Flags roller coaster, which is permanently there, but you go on a Big E ride, which is like, hey, this carny guy just threw it up in 20 minutes. I did, you know, the mousetrap ride at the Big E? You're like in a mouse. I won't even do that.
Dude, I went on it. It was me, my brother, and two big black guys on each end of us. We stopped our thing. We went down the hill and we were supposed to go up the next one, and we stopped. We went
Y'all
back
stopped?
and we sat. We got bumped by another. Luckily, they don't go that fast, but like we were
Thank
stuck.
God, but
I
damn,
was
dude.
like, we saw him coming, and we're like, we had cushion.
Oh, brace yourselves.
Because of them, we had some nice cushion. But I was like, fuck that. I don't even go to the Big E anymore. It's like $500
Yeah,
for
man.
fried air.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't go. I haven't been to the Big E since 2019, and before that, it was like 2012. So yeah, I haven't been to the Big E in just about that same amount of time, man. It's just overpriced and stuff. But one of the other rides that I can do, there's three actually. One, the Ferris wheel. I just
You can do
with
the Ferris
how
wheel?
that's like. I can do the Ferris wheel, yes, and I just feel like that's kind of where it's intertwined with romance. So it's just like naturally, I was like, all right, Bucko, you're gonna do some shit up here, so fucking get over it. So
even that,
the
I'm like,
Ferris
nah,
wheel?
I'm good.
And I can do the scrambler where you're like in the thing and it like just whips
and
you
it looks
back
like
and
you're
forth
gonna
and
fling
shit.
into each other. Yeah,
And you're
that
like
one's
in a
fun.
seat and you're fucking ramming someone. Yeah, dude, I'm fucking taking Ray on that shit this year.
But the rest of the rides, fuck
fucking
that. Even
and
like the haunted house is fine.
I love the little flying saucer, the one that you get in.
Where
The
you stick
closed
to the
one, not
wall?
the open one. Yeah, I
Oh,
like
yeah,
the closed
yeah.
one, not the fucking open one. Yeah.
I did that once and I was upside down, and I guess they don't like that because I guess someone was upside down once and the ride stopped and see ya.
Yeah, I went to go sit up and ended up sideways. Ended up sideways.
You leave the ride dizzy as fuck too. You're like, I don't know where I'm going. I was stuck to a wall and now I'm not stuck to a wall anymore.
And I got shook because the fucking thing slide and then it smacks the
Oh,
top
yeah.
and you feel like you're gonna fly out. I'm like, "Ah."
The first time I went on it, I didn't know it did that. So I was like, oh, I'm like chilling, and then I start going up. I'm like, where am I falling off?
And then you got the fucking workers who are like standing on the walls with their fucking arms crossed, just like watching everybody
Yeah,
fucking
and
panic.
you
And I'm
got-
just like, fuck you.
You have the one guy in the middle who's not even spinning. He's just facing one way. He can turn
Nope.
his seat, but he's not with us. But that leads to another
He's the guy
thing.
that starts the ride and shit. What's up?
So we talked about if you believe in aliens, and then we talked about like ghost hunters and stuff. What about ghosts? Do you have anything that's ever happened to you?
Do I believe in ghosts? Of course.
Yeah, but have you any like personal experience?
Yes, actually. This actually, we're gonna go back in time quite a bit. We're gonna go back to like 2003, 2004.
Are we going
and this
far
is back
enough
when
where the
religion-
ghost was alive still? Or is that too far
mean,
back?
I mean,
Little
but
too
like,
far.
regardless of how you look at it, you know, I mean, I guess you could say it was alive, but I personally didn't see it, but my stepbrother, my stepdad and my brother both saw it, and they both fucking freaked. So in Oklahoma, there's this graveyard called Mountain Station, and it's like right next to this like electrical station that got built there in the mid '90s, and it was an old burial ground from like the Pilgrim Ages, and
That's where the ghosts go.
there was one, but there was a legitimate witch from the witch trials that was buried there.
Like from
and
Salem?
her
Or like
grave.
to be a separate witch trial?
A separate witch trial, or it was a witch. That's all I know.
Yeah.
It was a witch of some sort that was in Oklahoma.
Was she buried separate with like
And,
her own little metal fence?
It wasn't a metal fence. It was a stone fucking dome.
Oh shit!
That, yeah.
She's not
So
coming out.
basically, the story of the witch was, witchcraft. People like obviously saw her as one. She was thrown into a coffin alive, chained up, and they put stones over her grave so her spirit couldn't escape. At some point in the 1900s, somebody knocked the top off, and from that moment on, every time around like midnight, if you were partying out there, because there was a bunch of like sleeping willows there that like had the fucking like the hanging shit
Just
on
the
it that you
hanging,
see in like the
the
bayou.
horror ones.
At midnight sometimes, from what my stepdad was telling me, and like he used to party up there a lot. Like if you believed it enough and like were really shook by the ideas of ghosts, whenever the wind blows, it looked like candles were lit in the trees. It looked like a candle fucking hallway that you were going down. Yeah. But we had taken a trip up there, me, my brother, my mom, and my stepdad. And we had pulled up to the graveyard, and I'm just like, bro, I don't want to fucking be here. I'm like fucking.
It's worse
7,
when you
almost
like
8
feel
at the
shit
time.
before you get there because you're like, I'm not even here yet.
Yeah,
like,
dude, I'm fucking scared.
Yeah,
I'm fucking scared, bro. And I'm 7 years old, so I'm even more fucking terrified.
Wait, they told you the story at 7?
They told me the story at fucking 6, and then brought me when I was 7. Yeah, dude. This stepdad was a fucking asshole. So like, fuck him anyways. But still, We got there and we pulled up, and mind you, I'm on the side where the graveyard is, and so is he. Like I'm right behind his driver's side, but I'm like got my head down and I'm like peeking at it so often. I'm fucking bawling at this point because I don't want to fucking be
Yeah.
here because I know this story. And they're just like looking around and just looking through the graveyard because like nobody goes up there. Nobody fucking
Mhm.
goes up there. And then apparently him and my brother both simultaneously saw something like walking like
No,
kind of like zombie like and shit.
your brother John?
And like my brother and my stepdad both saw it
Both of them.
at
Okay.
the same time. And like even my stepdad was like, "What the fuck is that?" And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm ready to get the fuck out of here." He turned the car and we fucking sped off. And even to this day, like like my brother still talks about like what he saw there.
Oh, thank you.
There's another spot out in Oklahoma called Cambria Bottoms. Now, Cambria was an actual person, and she died very early on. I think she was like 10, 11 maybe. There was like this little bridge that like connects each two roads, and there was like a wooden bridge that was like man-made that you can drive over.
Yeah.
At the time, I don't know if it's still there anymore. It's been like 20 years since I've been there, but um, apparently this was also something that took place in like the early 1900s, like almost 1800s, that she was playing outside with what she thought was like her friend or something, or friends or something, and she got pushed over the bridge and smacked her head, and her
shit.
head split open. Now,
They're gonna say there was no actual friends there.
no, there were actual friends there,
Yeah,
but
okay.
they killed her.
I thought we were gonna. Shit!
They murdered her basically.
I thought this was gonna be like a bridge to Terabithia kind of thing.
No, she smacked her fucking head and she
Yeah.
died like immediately, like cracked her fucking skull open.
How old was she?
Like 10 or 11 or something like that.
God damn.
And apparently, if you go there at night, like out of a car by yourself, like apparently there's been like disappearances and shit there. So
See,
like, there's yeah.
I'm cool going to like a haunted graveyard or anything. We
I
did
don't do
Rock.
shit like-
I think
yeah.
you came with me when we went to Rock Dundee Road. I think with Danny. I'm pretty sure
I
it was
did,
me,
yep.
you, and Danny and the Devil's Spawn.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
I'm fine with stuff like that, but once you say, just like in movies, when the end says based on a true story, I'm like, oh, this movie's a little freaky. Then that pops up. I'm like, fuck that. But
Yeah, no, dude,
disappearances and
like-
stuff, I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, like I've always wanted to go to Spidergate, but I'm also terrified
yeah.
of that too because
That's
of the
what I'm
fucking
saying.
little tunnel that they have.
I want to go there, but I don't want to end up in hell. I'll go to hell later. Not right now. I'm not ready.
Yeah,
So-
dude, there's certain things I don't do.
Yeah. So I used to be in Scouts. I'm pretty sure you know that. And then
Yeah.
Dan Lynch
Same,
and my
but I
brother
didn't
and all
make it
that.
nearly as far as you guys.
Eagles baby. Eagle Scout baby. But we would have like fundraisers, and then in the summer we would do like a big trip. And
Oh, you talking out in Russell, Mass? Out by Indian Leap? Not
yeah.
Indian Leap, the fucking...
Indian-
yeah, I know what you're talking
yeah.
about, yeah.
but no, that's like our small like summer camp. We would go like, I think we maybe did this once, but we had a big trip. We
It's
went
like out
to
in Montague or something like that?
Russell. It's Moses. It's called.
Camp Moses, that's right.
So that was like a regular thing. But one year so you have like the younger Scouts, Boy Scouts, and then the Cub Scouts.
Yeah.
The Boy Scouts had gone. We went on our big trip. We had newer kids. Joey and kids his age had just moved into our troop. We finally were like one, I guess. So he took a big trip to Washington, D.C., and we went to Pennsylvania too. And one of the places we stopped, it was a big history thing. We went to the Smithsonian, did all those. But we went to Gettysburg. And then that night,
Gettysburg is fucking haunted as fuck.
Oh hell yeah, we did a ghost walk. Joey didn't want to go. I think he got sick. But we did the ghost walk, and we went to Jenny Wade's house. I always mix up the war. Gettysburg is Civil War, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because Revolutionaries, British. Yeah, okay. So it was the Civil War. So this girl, Jenny Wade, I think she was either the first or the only civilian to die in the war.
Okay.
It's kind of... You're in her house for the tour. You're in her house, and it's nighttime.
Oh.
But we're in the kitchen, and they're telling us the story.
That sounds safe.
I wish I could find this photo. I had a photo. We'll get to that, though. I'm all over the place.
Okay.
So we're in the house, and we're in the kitchen, and they tell the story of what happened in each part where she died.
Okay.
She was in the kitchen with her son, and he was younger. And she was cooking, and a stray bullet went through the door and missed. So she's like, I'm not safe right here. So she moved. And then this is when I'm like, damn. She moved. And then when she moved, another one came and hit her. So she like moved into it on accident. She died. Her son, I guess, died later. He was sick. Not that close. But the story they were saying is the son likes to play with people. So I'm standing. I'm here. Dan Lynch is... Where's my camera? Dan Lynch is here. Like, we can't reach each other.
Yeah.
So we're standing there, and you know how you have kids. When they'll be
Yeah.
in between you, like trying to swing like grab your shirt and swing or get your
Yeah.
attention. At
Or pull
this,
your fucking pants down. Yeah.
at, at the same time, me and Dan Lynch looked down and looked up at each other because we both felt it tugging on our shirt. And I was like, "Bro, you touched my? Did you pull my shirt?" He's like, "No, you pulled mine." And I'm like, we were freaking out because
Yeah. I'm gonna move over.
it's
I'm
like
gonna move away from here.
like I couldn't reach him. He couldn't. We were far enough apart, like almost across the room, but close enough where we could talk. And I was just like, yo, something. I'm freaking out now because something just pulled my shirt. And this guy told me he likes to play with people. But then we went upstairs, and I didn't really pay attention because I was shooketh.
Oh,
So
shooketh.
I was taking a shit
Still
ton of
gone?
pictures. I lean in. There's like a broken part of the brick wall. So the tour guide is with the group in one room, but I'm in the doorway because I can't fit because there's so many people.
Yeah.
I just happened to
Yeah.
lean back into the other room and take a picture randomly. I was like, fuck it, let's see if I catch something. Of course, I didn't think this through. Later on, we went back to the campground. Yeah, we're in a tent. So, like, you find anything, you're going to freak out. And I'm scrolling through the pictures, and there's no mirrors or anything. It's the brick wall, and then there's just a wall and a window off to the side, but not on camera. I take the picture, and there's legit, it looks like a Civil War soldier's face. And you can see like the military hat stuff. And I'm like, I wish I could find it. I would put it up, but I can't. It's so old. I mean, I have to really look. But
if you can find it anywhere at any
I need
point,
to.
show me that
At
shit.
first-
That's fucking gnarly.
At first, people were like, oh, it's just a reflection from the flash. I was like, one, the flash wasn't on. And two, half of the face is on the brick wall. If it was a reflection, it'd be on like what's reflecting it or next to it. This was like half brick wall, half. And it didn't look like it was like against. This looked like it was like, it wasn't even that far from me. Like if I'm standing, you can't really see the depth, but it'd be like where the ballerina thing behind me is. That's how far it was.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no.
fuck that. It was freaking
Fuck
terrifying.
that.
I mean, after like a year, I was like, okay, that's cool to talk about now. But it was,
Yeah, I
my
do
God.
have a ghost story, but it's not mine. It's my Uncle David's story. It's back when he was stationed out in Texas, and my one of my brothers, Chris, was born. He's the older of the two. So he was stationed out in Texas, and they had a house. I forgot where in Texas, but they had a house, and my brother Chris was already born, so he was, sound asleep and everything. And this is like fucking 3 a.m. And my Uncle David's wife at the time was like, honey, wake up. Like, and he's just like, what the fuck you mean wake up? And she was like, wake up. And he looks up, and there is somebody at the bottom of their bed.
See,
At the bottom of their bed, bro,
fuck
crying.
that. I'm like,
just staring at them crying, and it's like a little boy or a little girl or something from what he was saying.
if it was you personally, would you react like, shit, that's a fucking ghost, or like, oh shit, there's a kid crying in my room, or like a kid just like wandered in your house? What would,
if it was
like,
a random ass
head?
kid? If it looked like a kid, I would probably be a little stunned.
I'd be startled. Like my son does that to me.
I wouldn't like if it was like a physical fucking
like it looked
child,
like someone was standing there.
Yeah, I would be like, hey, I'd be shook for a second there. I'd be like, Jesus fucking Christ, how the fuck did you get here? But are you okay? Especially if it's a young kid and they're crying, like, are you okay? Like, I would obviously ask them the same question.
I'm shook, but yeah.
They did the same thing. They had asked, like, are you okay? Like, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
The kid left the room and they fucking went out there to turn the lights. Nothing was fucking there, dude. Now, apparently it started happening even more, like fucking, but they weren't seeing her or anything like that. And she kept waking up like, honey, I hear somebody fucking crying. Like, I hear somebody crying in the
I would have moved out the first night.
Here's a two-parter, though. And this is where it gets weird. He took a picture, and he has the picture somewhere. If I can get it from him, I will send it to you. But apparently he had the TV unplugged, and like he put the cord in front of the TV to like take a picture just to show you that
because it had kept happening.
Yeah, he took a picture and there was a fucking face on it.
On the TV?
There was a face on the TV. Yes.
Fuck that.
There was a face on the TV and the cord was directly in front. It was one of those dinosaur-ass TVs. So there's no camera tricks. This shit was taken, this picture was taken in the 90s. So that there was no Photoshop or anything like that. So it's like, that's scary. Now, they saw that same girl and a whole-ass man one night.
There was two people.
There was two people this time. And, they're like, what the fuck is going on? X, Y, and Z. And eventually they just disappeared right in front of them. So now they're really fucking freaking out. They did some research on like the apartment complex that they were at. Apparently it was built over a graveyard.
This wasn't an Indian burial ground, but still, fuck that.
No, but it was buried
Is it
over
even
a
legal
like
to build
Civil
over a
War
grave?
graveyard.
Oh, okay, Civil War. You don't really
It was
know.
like an older graveyard. Like they were dressed like they were in the like 1900s as well. Like
This
it
is.
was scary.
Does this happen to you when you tell ghost stories and shit like this? You feel like something's gonna happen in your house? Like
Yeah, I get the
I'm
feeling like
fully
I'm being
convinced.
watched.
Like I'm fully convinced when I go into editing today for this, I'm gonna see something either behind me or behind you, and I'm gonna be like, I can't move. Like I played that game.
Yeah.
I forgot what the game was called. I played it.
Phasmophobia?
No, I mean that one. Fuck that. I did that in VR for 2 minutes and I was done. It was
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
the mortuary's assistant. I played the demo. If you watch, it's on my like shout out to my YouTube, Winchester Rebel. You could check it out in the link.
Absolutely.
It's on there. You see genuine fear in my face when I play that game because I was one.
Yeah, man.
Pauline was at her parents'. Abel was at his mom's. I was the only one in the house.
Don't play horror games alone in the fucking house, bro. You don't.
It gets worse. It gets worse. When I started, I was like, it's light out. I'll be good. But the game dragged me in, and by the time I shut it off, it was not light out anymore. And I had no lights on when I stopped playing. I forgot to leave a light on. I did not sleep that night. I was like, I'm pretty sure I left, picked up Colleen, and like, yeah, you gotta sleep here tonight. I put on like Ricky Gervais and like comedy and stuff. It was, but
I
stuff
do that
like
shit
that.
constantly.
For the rest of the night, I'm shook. I'm done for the night. I'm like, something's gonna pop up, and then of course I'm like, my grandparents passed away a while ago, and
yeah,
that's how it starts.
You're already still fresh off the whole death train, so you're like,
when my grandma
anything.
died, I'm gonna turn my camera. No, you actually can't see. There's a cardboard box. When my grandma died. My grandpa still lived here for like a year before he moved to my parents because he had health issues. It was better for that.
Yeah.
When we were talking about me moving here and my grandpa moving there, her urn, because she was cremated, was up there. There was a shelf there, and it was like a sturdy into the brick, and she was there. And one of the things I asked, I was like, "So when I move in, is that coming with him or?" And at first they're like, "Well, it was her house. She's gonna stay there." I'm like, I can't fuck it. I can't live there. I mean, I love my grandma, but I can't do that. I'll be freaking out.
Yeah.
He ended up taking her. I was like, I can't do it. But my mom's house isn't haunted, so I guess now my grandma and grandpa are both at my mom's. But I was like, if
it probably also helps that your dad's house looks completely fucking different now, so it probably helps there too because there's no familiarity.
Like for instance, did you just see
a new place?
Did you just see my screen flicker? I don't know if you
did.
saw. Scared the fucking shit out of me. I was like, what the fuck just popped up at the bottom? Then again, why did it flicker anyways? But stuff like even like I'm not as bad with horror movies now. Like I enjoy them, but younger, which makes sense. You're a kid.
Oh yeah,
they would terrify.
Adolescence, bro.
I would think it would happen. Even like bad dreams in my old house, like childhood home. I had a dream that I was. Right? Yeah. I had a dream that I was in the basement and my mom we had a black lab at the time, and he walked out of the closet. He looked at me, his eyes glowed yellow, and then he charged at me. And have you ever died in a dream or like gotten bitten?
Yes.
You wake up. I woke up, and for like 4 years I would not go in that room. Nothing actually happened. I know it was a dream, but it scared me so much. I think I woke up crying. I wasn't even in the same room. I woke up in like my brother's room in the corner. I was like, I slept walking everything. But it was terrifying,
bro.
I think I think I blocked out like really bad dreams. I think that one's the one that stuck because ghosts could be creepy. People are ghost creepy, but like animals, I think that's worse. Like ghost animals, like a freaking dog running through the woods. Fuck that. No. But I did hear about the spider gates. I do still kind of want to go there, but
I'm down. There is another story that's not really like supernatural, but more like still unexplained to this day, and it does have something to do with me and my brother. So we were moving out of like our first house in Oklahoma. We had 2 down there, and we were moving out of the first house, and for whatever fucking reason, and mind you, these are not easy objects to lose. There was one guitar that belonged to my stepdad that he gave to my brother, and he also had his flute. Now, through the moving process, we couldn't find those shits anywhere. Yeah. You cannot lose a fucking expensive ass guitar like that. It was to the point where we thought at some point we got robbed somehow. Yeah. Like it just, we could not fucking believe it. So we're moving everything out of the house. Mind you, everything's out of my room, everything's out of my brother's room, everything's out of my parents' room. Everything's like out basically. Like everything's outside and being loaded onto the U-Haul at this point. So during our last walkthrough of the house, just kind of be like, this is, fucking lit.
Go down memory lane real quick before you leave.
Yeah. we hit every fucking room in the house, and then we come across my brother's room. They open the fucking door, and the guitar and the flute are both sitting in the middle of the fucking floor.
Like
and I just
empty
got
room.
goosebumps reliving it. An empty fucking room.
Wait, were you there?
Yeah, I was there. I was
What the
freaking
fuck?
out. I remember.
Maybe a homeless
I
guy stole it and
remember.
like, I should return. That's fucking creepy.
I don't know, but yeah, it's fucking creepy. Like in the case, everything. Like it was scary.
Like the ghost
because we
is like, all
couldn't
right,
find
band's
them.
over.
Yeah, we couldn't fucking find them, dude. So it's
I
just
don't
like we
think
looked
I've
at the
had-
storage unit, bunker we had, everything. There was nothing.
I'm trying to think other than like the whole shirt tugging thing in that house. Like I did a ghost walk in Salem, but
man.
not. I had Abel and he was a baby, so we were kind of distracted, and it wasn't. I thought it'd be so good at Salem, but it wasn't. It was some like inside the buildings was, but then like at one part they're like that Dunkin' Donuts George Washington stayed there once because there was a hotel, and I'm like, that kind of okay, but it was
Like,
still
why
cool.
do I care?
But I don't think I've ever had anything like that happen, like where something's moved or that. Not that I can think of. I mean,
Yeah, that's the scary aspect of it, man.
my first time living here, like I freaked out till like I didn't sleep. But then moving into a new house, you get noises you didn't get where you used to live. You got to get used to it. So I have skylights in my bedroom, and they were open, and I wasn't thinking. So it's just me and the dog. In fact, I might not have had the dog. Yeah, I had the dog, and I closed the door because for some reason, okay, that whole being scared of the dark, I guess I kind of have that. This light right here in this doorway, there's the stairs, and at the top of the stairs, it controls both lights. That's never off. So like outside of my room's always lit up. I don't know. It terrifies me because I'm like, the one night I turn it off, something's gonna open the door. But I heard a knock like clear.
Yeah, that's fucking
And I was
scary.
like, I freaked out. I was like, Mom, I was already worried that Grandma's haunting the house, and
now I'm really fucking
now I'm
worried.
freaking.
Grandma's haunting
That
the
knock
house.
wasn't like a squirrel ran on the roof or like the neighbors. They're knocking at the door. That was like my bedroom door got knocked on.
Yeah, no, that's fucking terrifying.
Come to find out, it happened a few days later. It was someone knocking on my neighbor's door, but my skylight was open, so it sounded like it was in my room. And I was like,
Gotcha. Yeah, that's fucking
because
terrifying.
I was starting to pack and everything.
Debunking is probably one of sometimes the most disappointing feelings, but when you're in a situation like that, it is one of the most relieving feelings.
Yeah, like if I was at my friend's house, I'd be chilling. I'd be like, whatever, fuck, I'm not coming back.
So for a personal supernatural-esque story, I have one last one that's in the pocket, and it's one that I don't remember specifically because apparently I was super young when this happened. But I have my grandmother, John, who it personally happened to, and my mom, and I think my dad to back it up. So you know what a banshee is, right?
That thing that screeches in the woods, right? And when you hear it, you're about to die. Then weren't we gonna make?
No, it means that somebody in your family is going to die. That means somebody. It's an omen of death, basically.
Yep.
So
I feel like you and me, because back when we were big into film and I was trying to get into it, I feel like we were trying to like write up a movie about that or like a little.
It was called Banshee.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember.
But yeah, it's an omen.
Yeah. So apparently, I was like 3 years old or something at the time, and like I was with my mom playing or thing, and my brother was in my grandmother's room or some shit, and they heard like this loud fucking screech, and they have no fucking idea like where it came from, and they knew it was like outside, but there was like storm windows so they could look outside and see, but they didn't see
nighttime?
anything. Yes,
It's always
and they didn't
freaking
see
nighttime.
anything. So I get from what I recall, I may not be getting the details right, but I think my mom or somebody went outside and something screeched and just flew right past them. Like couldn't see anything. It was like a shadow, just flew right past them. A couple weeks later, I forgot who in the family friend, but somebody ended up passing away like almost immediately after the experience. And that was the first time and the only time that, if you think about it in terms of lore, was the only time we've ever had a run-in with like an actual banshee.
Fuck that.
Like that's an actual story. Like that's real. Like that's a real thing that actually happened.
But I'm good with that. Like if that thing
Thankfully, I
screeches
don't
at me,
remember.
I'm like, please be someone I'm not close with. Like be like
I would hand him the
like a
goddamn
third
gun
cousin.
myself. Be like, just end my shit so I can. I don't have to think about this.
Just take me, because if someone dies, I'm automatically gonna pin that on myself. Like Colleen has issues with stuff like that where very it's the S word, superstitious. There we go. I had to think of the song.
Okay.
So like I've been working with her with it. She has an issue. So when she was pregnant with Jackson, as you know, we were in the hospital a lot. Probably no, not even sarcastic. 14, 15 times total through the 9-month pregnancy.
Yeah.
So he had a vibrating hedgehog. We bought it real early because we were like, oh, this will be like the first thing almost the first thing we'll get him. And
Yeah.
she kept it on her side table, face up, on like the left side. Even after he was born, no, actually, I got her to move it before he was born. Before he was born, she's like, I'm not moving it because I'm worried. Because when I move stuff, something happens. And it actually, ironically, just happened. She was worried if she moved it, something would happen to the baby. And I worked with her. I was like, move it, nothing will happen. I'd feel like an asshole if she moved it and something happened. But she moved it, nothing happened. I think someone got sick, but that's about it. And I'm like, that's not together. But I just thought of this 2 days ago. She had a paper towel on there for like the wet. When you feed the baby at night, you just put it there when if it's wet after you rinse it off and it dries. She threw it away. Now everybody has COVID, and she's kind of like, if I didn't do that, nobody would have COVID. I'm like, I mean, maybe, but like you can't really put that together. But I mean, it makes sense. But like stuff like that,
so
we're
she's having
on.
like.
She's very
So
superstitious.
it's like superstitious.
Yeah,
Got you. Okay.
There's like a bracelet she has, or I guess something happened in her past, but I don't know if she wants me sharing it, so we'll say it's not her.
Oh. Okay.
It's something where she moved something and someone passed away, and she like blamed herself for it. I was like, I try to work with her with that, but I understand. Like, I have stuff like that, like my dog tags. I don't have them on now, but I have dog tags with my kids on them. I have the baby that we lost before they were born, and then my son, and I have to get my other son one. But I would always wear them because I'm like, whenever I don't wear them, I have really bad luck. Like, shit happens. So I forgot to wear them one day, and now it's fine. So I'm like, okay, so I don't have to always wear them. But stuff like that, like superstitious stuff, is understandable. Everybody has something they're superstitious about. Plus, it's a good song.
Course. Oh, it's a fucking amazing song. One of the, if not the best Stevie Wonder song there is.
when I was in like 5th grade, I was in band, and it's actually pretty cool. I played that stupid pad though. I didn't have an actual drum set.
Oh, they give you the practice pad. Whack.
And we did like a show, like black ties, black suits, and all around the not stadium. We're not that good. The auditorium. So like it would light this area up, and the guy would play the solo on the electric guitar. I'd go over here, and we'd start hitting our pads and stuff. But I don't know where that came from, that random ass story. But it was cool. It was fun. I don't play the drums either. I never made it past the pad.
How Superstitious was a lit ass song.
Yeah, it was.
So did you want to make like the main event topic the state schools or?
Oh, I forgot about the state schools.
Yeah,
I
honestly, about ghosts and shit.
I was never convinced. Belchertown had state schools, which when we went at first, we thought it was like an insane asylum. It was just like
creepy.
It was a school for like, I think mentally challenged and so obviously the first time we went, it's huge.
There's like
padded
rooms.
There's like 12 buildings. You see, padded walls and stuff. But it was, I think that was the first time I did like a ghost hunt, like no tour guide. In fact, that might have been before I even did a tour guide. So like 5 of us went. I want to say over the years, we went
We've had
at least 7-8 times.
It's funny.
There's a police station right next to it, and only one. You were there when they all popped up with their flashlights, right?
Yes,
I know Dylan and Erica, because we all ran.
Yeah, we fucking booked it. It's funny that the last time I was actually at the state schools was back in when me and Ash got together. One of our first drives, we drove out to the state schools and just chilled.
I can't.
Like, we didn't go in. We parked at that parking lot that we used to park at right next to that Dunkin'.
Behind the Dunkin'.
We parked there and we just chilled. Yeah, and that was like one of our first dates.
Yeah, you couldn't pull up to the state schools because it was trespassing. So we allegedly went. We're gonna leave. That's the word of the day.
Allegedly.
You would have to park across. So you pass the police station. And it's here. You drive down the street. You end up. My camera's flipped, so yeah. So you park here, and the police station's here, and then the state schools are behind the police station, and there's like a big ass field. You literally had to get out of the car and pretend you're walking down the street, and then when you didn't think you saw anybody, just book it across the field or like down the road, and then like crouch. We never got caught.
Yep.
Even that time they all came in, they lifted. I don't even think if that was the cops. I think those are people fucking with us. But
probably
we're all like we're not spread out too far. Like we could talk, but you have to. There was like a group here and a group here. But we were like, you could see each other. And then in between us, like 5 people popped up and aimed flashlights. We couldn't see anybody. All we saw was lights, and we assumed it was the cops. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think there's other people that are just like, let's fuck with the people here.
Fucking trolls.
But it was, even though it wasn't haunted, it was fun. Because you would, going into it,
I think it was a spooky atmosphere.
Yeah. Because it was abandoned. You got wheelchairs and shit. You can go on the roof, but there's just a fucking, dude, the fucking auditorium was the coolest part. You'd go in it's like a somewhere you go to watch plays and stuff, and you could go up in the seats and there was bats everywhere. I went with Heather, Sam, and Sam's boyfriend. You remember Dominique? I don't think that might be
Of course, I
Adrian.
remember Dominic.
But we went with them, and I had gone already, I think, like 4 times with you guys, so I was just having fun. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're like all freaked out, and then I run down the hall, no lights or anything, turn down a room and just stop talking. And then I found like an
Yeah,
old, I don't know what it was, but it had a timer on
It
it.
was like and you fucking hit it. And it
Oh,
just
you
went
might have
off. I'm
been
like,
there. Did you go with us?
yeah, I was there because I scared the shit out of me. I'm like, what the fuck did you do?
The bat flew into Dominique's hair. But I turned the timer on in the other room because you could go to, they were in one room, I was in the other, but they were like connected. So I turned the timer on and I'd sneak back in with them. And then all of a sudden you hear like a dinging in the other room. We'd all go look, they'd walk away, I'd set it again. At some point I realized this place isn't haunted, so I'm going to make it haunted.
Yeah.
But no matter what, I had fun exploring it.
I think it was, again, the atmosphere of how just
and then
abandoned
the
it
stories
was.
going into it.
And with old buildings, they always make noise. So you're like, ooh, ghosty.
But there was like 10 buildings. I think
Yeah.
now
There was even like a crematorium or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, and then there was like tunnels that I never went in.
I went in the tunnels. Me, Heather, and Joey. That was the fastest I ever went to Belchertown. We went in the tunnels, and no joke. Okay, so I'll do this.
It's like claustrophobic as fuck, right?
Yeah, you're underground. The roof is. I had to duck. Joey had to almost lay down, and then the walls are we maybe had 2 inches of space on each side of us, and we were turning a corner, and you know what? For some reason in my memory there was lights, but obviously there wasn't lights.
Yeah.
I think flashlight, but we turned the corner and there was a big ass spider, and mind you, to get in the basement you had to go down a ladder. There was no like stairs. This was like a straight up and down ladder. So we went down and you're that cramped, and then there was just spiders everywhere, and I'm like, you know what, fuck the spider.
I'm gonna go back.
It's all different now. But yeah. Oh, you're saying that's what I said. We booked it and we were out, and I think that's the last time I went. But I was like, I think I said to Heather and Joey, turning to him, I was like, realistically, if something was coming down there, what the fuck are we going to do? Just like what I say to people who like watch horror movies. I'm like, and they're about to pull the curtain back. What's in the shower? And someone's there. What are you going to do?
Like, don't go in there.
Oh, I'm going to throw a toaster in there with you. What are you going to do after you're dead? But
no facts,
yeah, they tore down most of the buildings and rebuilt them. Now it's all like brand new.
Really?
Yeah. And there's maybe like the first building with like the clock tower left. That's it. Other than that, like I think the school was torn down, the auditorium was torn down. It's pretty new.
They finally did. They probably got fucking tired of people going in there. I don't blame them.
And then during the day, I
did it.
I think you can go there during the day and just walk around.
I would like to do that eventually, just to kind of see like where everything's at now. Kind of get some spurts of memories there, and reminisce a little bit.
I wish there was. That's probably like the biggest haunted story of like even in school before I went, that was the biggest thing everyone talked about is, I'm going to the state schools tonight, it's haunted. But I can't think of like, other than Rocket Dundee Road, which was just spooky, it wasn't like creepy.
Yeah, again, it was just a fucked up road that fucked up your tires and just made you mentally fucked up because you just didn't know what to do if your tire went, and it's apparently haunted.
That wasn't even the Stratus when we went there, that was the Pontiac, the red Pontiac.
Yep.
I
do remember the red Pontiac. Yeah, you picked me up in the airport coming home in that red Pontiac.
I can't think of another place around here that would be considered haunted like that. Massachusetts is boring as shit.
Yeah, if you're in like Western Mass, it's pretty fucking boring. Yeah,
Salem, I go every year. That place is a blast, even if you don't do the ghost walks.
Oh yeah.
But I want to
absolutely.
I want to find a place that like, because I remember
is genuinely haunted.
Yeah, I remember me and you were big into it for a little bit, where we were like looking up all the gear and stuff, and like how much would it be to legit make like a little show about.
Yeah,
this.
dude, because Belchertown State Schools kind of like,
it was like a free trial or like a practice.
Yeah, it was like a trial run. Like,
like it's not haunted, but it feels like it.
Because we were genuinely talking about like all like you, me, and I think somebody else. We all take a house and stay in it for the night and see like what we can capture and shit. Like we were thinking about it,
but I don't think we ever went with Danny. It could have been Dylan too. Well, when me and Joey and Heather went, we did the padded rooms. We each took a padded room and closed the door and sat in the corner. This is how old it was. I had my iPod on record, and we each sat in a room and like asked questions. Nobody got anything. I don't think I ever went through it. But sitting in the room, no lights, we turned all our lights off and just sat there with that thing recording and talking. Like, I was in a padded room and the other end was Joey, and then I think
Heather remember you were telling me about that. Yeah,
it was terrifying, but nothing happened. And I was like, if this door opens,
I'm gonna fucking freak.
Be a cop. Like, don't be a ghost, be a cop at this point. But then nothing happened.
Fuck yeah, man.
I want to go to a place where I'm not convinced ghosts are real, even with the tugging on the shirt. Like that could have been it. I could have caught on something. I want to see something. Not right now in my house, but like I want to go somewhere and see something. You're looking at me like you got a place to go. You don't want to see
No, I'm
something.
saying you're fucking nuts. Yeah. You're fucking
Not in
nuts.
my
I ain't
house.
trying to see shit.
Like a hotel or something. I would love honestly to go to Stanley Hotel and stay there for a night. I would have a
From The
blast
Shining?
there. Yeah. 'Cause Ghost Hunters went there like 4 times. That used to be their Halloween special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
I remember I had to pick, do I go trick-or-treating or do I watch the hour-long live stream of that? I always went
Hour-long
trick-or-treating.
live stream all day.
I'd split it. I'd go trick-or-treating and then catch the end of it because I had school the next day. It was they went to so many cool places. But I can't
Hey,
say
man,
bye.
just let me know.
Ben has a lot of, like Danny, he does a lot of YouTube stuff.
I do.
Going kaboom in his reactions and stuff, getting all the followers. So where can they catch you before you go?
You guys can catch me at the Lone Rager 13 if you guys want to put the tag there, or just the Lone Rager on YouTube. I do a bunch of music reactions, sometimes a podcast called The Evening Rager if I feel like it, and I do a little bit of gaming there too. And actually, as a matter of fact, soon I'm going to be streaming Hogwarts Legacy on YouTube.
I'm about to play that after this episode. You got a podcast.
Hell fucking yeah, me too, boy.
Yeah, you can also catch him on TSPR podcast. I'll have all these links underneath, just like last time. And we are wrestling too, right? You guys do wrestling, so all of that will be below. You check it out. Give him a follow.
Fuck yeah, man.
He's very good. And you're probably,
thank you so much.
Other
man.
than Danny, you're in competition now. I think for the most productive on YouTube and like actually have a following. I think I have 27 people right now. I got one between episodes. But I had fun. I hope you had fun. I think we had
Hell
fun.
fucking yeah, dude. This was like the smoothest almost 2 hours that I've actually been on a podcast after being on a podcast for 2 hours earlier. So honestly, yeah, this was pretty fucking lit, man.
We like tripled the last one's time, which I'm fine with. I just want a minimum of 30 minutes. I don't have plans on anyone actually being 30 minutes. It's never that
fluctuates.
short. You'd be bored. But like even Danny, I think was 50 minutes. So you
Hell
guys,
yeah, man.
you guys check out his links. They'll be all underneath. I'll have mine down there too. I had fun, Ben. Definitely do this again soon.
It was absolutely fun, man.
I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Peace out.